Good morning. It's Sunday the 21st of June and the trip to Wraysbury is finally upon us. It's 10 to 7 in the morning, just about to set off. The car's all packed. There's the old Carpmobile behind me. Just waiting for Pete to get here and then we're going to hit the road. I expect it to take about 4 hours with a bit of a stop. So yeah, that's the plan. Really excited, a bit tired, didn't sleep too well last night. You know, excited before a holiday, just like as anyone is really. So yeah, the next time I speak to you will be at a historic English cartwater in the Royal Borough of Windsor called Wraysbury. I'll speak to you soon. Well, we're here. Wraysbury 1, North Lake. I'm in Bonds. Pete's in Giant's Footsteps to my left, that way. We tossed a coin for it. I ended up here. This water is just stunning. Stunning. Got the car parked behind me, so it's a very convenient peg. This water's stunning. Can't tell you. But before I get into that, so we left home at 7:15. Got to Leicester for 9 AM. Had a stop, 15 minutes. And then I think we had 90 miles to go to get to here. Really straightforward, easy drive. I don't know, not much more to say really. A little bit of traffic on the M25, but nothing serious. So good journey down here. Checked in at the Arcade Leisure Shop, really nicely kitted out inside. Checked in. Bailiff got in his car, we followed him to the lake. It's only about 5 minutes away, if that. And parked up in a car park just a little bit further down. Had a bit of a chat with him and opted for these 2 swims. So, let's show you this water. Show you what I'm looking at. So, this is the view from Bonds. See the island in front of me. What a beautiful, beautiful expanse of water. So Pete is to my left down there. That's Giant's Footsteps. There's a really helpful map behind me in terms of where we are in relation to the lake. We're quite close to the main entrance to where you're actually arriving off the road through the big secure gate. So what a beautiful view that is. First impressions of the place are stunning. You know, really friendly sort of check-in process. Rupert and George have kind of been really friendly with us. George, the bailiff that showed us round, gave us some really useful info. So yeah, very good. I've had a bit of a feel around with a lead. It's quite weedy, the water, but he says you can find clay spots, and he did suggest some points around the island. So I've had a feel about on kind of my side, because I imagine that Pete will be putting a rod on the left side, so I'll kind of fish that bit. Had a feel around, found some clay spots, which he said that I would do. So it's about 70 yards, 17 and a bit wraps. Just get my maths right. So yeah, I'm just putting together a little bit of a mix, but that's where we are. We'll get a couple of rods out on that spot. Cloth to wipe me out. Right, 2 rods are out. Both Johnny Max multi-rigs. The left hand or the middle rod is signature lemon sticky pop-up, and the left hand rod is pink sticky signature. Both have been in the glug for 2 weeks. Bought 4 corder glug pots, which I'll show you in a minute, which I'm using to glug all my baits, all my pop-ups. Just did a little bit of a test with one at home in the sink, and you can really see the liquid oozing out of it, so I'm going to give that a bash. I've only brought my glugged pop-ups with me, so I was given a tip before I arrived that they prefer the sweeter pop-ups rather than the more food orientated smells and tastes. So not really going with the krill, as I say, I'm going with sticky signature pop-ups. I've got some other sticky pop-ups with me, but I'll show you those in a minute. Anyway, welcome to Bonds. 2 rods out, gonna get the 3rd one out in a minute. This is beautiful, isn't it? Tree overhanging there. It's just huge. 45-acre lake, and well, I've not fished anything like this size. Let's look at the clarity of the water as well. That is gin clear. You see the weed, possibly just make that out. Doesn't look too bad, but what a place. What a place. Absolutely stunning. Cigar Island there, you might just be able to kind of see it, that section of trees, little island in front of it there. The trees behind is actually a big island. Then you've got the trees behind that which are on the far bank, that's the railway bank, so that's where the train line is. Here we go, welcome to Wraysbury. I thought the plains would be worse compared to, you know, going off what I've read online. I mean, the odd one like that is reasonably noisy, but to be honest, most of them are, you know, no big deal. We live on a flight path up in Derbyshire, so coming into Manchester, so I don't think this is a big deal. I mean, I don't know what it'd be like if they land this way. I don't know whether they do that, but certainly taking off, no big deal. I can put up with that. So, bond swim, called bonds because in one of the Bond films they rolled a car down here into the water, but from that point on, this peg's known as Bonds. It's a beautiful peg, look at the size of it. Put about half a dozen bivvies here. Absolutely stunning. What a place. What a view. So these are the pop-ups that I've been pre-glugging. So we've got, they're all sticky baits. These are the signature pop-ups. I've got the lemon and the pink in this glug, in the pineapple glug. These are the white ones next to them. They've been in the white chocolate. There's some pop-ups and a couple of wafters in there. these are the buckerberry. So again, these have been in the buckerberry glug. And these are the peach and pepper ones at the end. I'll probably use these during the night. I might opt to go for a brighter pop-up when I lose the light. So, those are the pop-ups in my armoury on this trip. Now my third rod that I'll be putting out, it's a bit cramped here, got the rod there. This will be a stiff hinge. So lead on the end. I fish this helicopter style. So lead on the end, and I have 2 chod beads here, and then I have a boom of IQ and a short choddy section like that. I use the corda crimp to make that, so there's no knot on the swivel, and then just use some bait floss to tie the pop-up on. This is probably my favourite rig. So I've just clipped it up to 17 and a bit wraps. I've got a peg in the ground, so I kinda, whilst I keep saying bit, I know exactly what that bit is. So when I get a pop-up on this, test it in the margin and work it out. This will be the right hand rod, so it'll be a little bit further up to the right of the island, but I'll show you. Right, get this pop-up on. Right, well, it is 2:45, all 3 rods are now out. So, as you saw earlier, right hand rod, hinge stiff. Went with one of the buckerberries. So, in terms of pop-ups, I've got buckerberry, I've got lemon, and I've got pink signature. I put out probably half a dozen spawnfuls earlier. I would just say reasonably tight, not a vast area around that island. Sort of left hand rods here, middles here, right's about here. So just fanned probably half a dozen spodfuls out. As I say, I've got a particle mix with some 20mm krill boilies. Not put loads out, we'll just see how we get on. There is a swan knocking about, which you can just about see there on the edge of the shot. Has been going down for bait, but not really over where I've been putting any. So maybe a good indicator as to where bait's gone in previously. So far not really causing me any problems. Let's hope it stays that way. Last thing we want, swan carnage. Been there before. Well, it's 4:45. Just been round to see Pete. He has I'll take you around in a bit, but he's got some fantastic fishing options on giant footsteps. You can go left into a bay, or you can go straight out towards the island that I've got in front of me. It's a bit of a tight swim, but it's very nice. The bailiff did sort of mention earlier that we should be looking to move tomorrow if we don't have anything in the night. Quite a bit of options on the other bank, so I think we'll be doing that. We're going to set up tonight the absolute bare minimum, so probably won't put the ground sheet down, just the bivvy. Not going to bother with the winter skin. everything back in the car. As I say, with a view to moving. Been watching the water quite a bit. Not seen any signs of anything, but it is a big water. It's, as I say, it's 45 acres, so it could be anywhere. Binoculars will be a big help here. Just fast. So right opposite us is one of the famous swims. Ghost barge. Right there. Rumours are they found a dead body on that boat in the 70s. This is quite useful. Just at the top of my peg. Beautiful day. Here, this is what I wanted to show you. This is the old map of the lake. Obviously that, trying to get my shadow out of the way, that's where I am. That's where we are now. That's my peg, Bonds. Giant Footsteps is next door. Obviously the ghost barge I've just shown you is over there. That's the island in front of me. It's vast, isn't it? When you think that that's the North Lake and oh, that's the South Lake. The Great Divide there. That's obviously, they've put that back in. The dredger must be somewhere here. Mary's Point. Some famous swims. Springate. Sir Pete Springate, who had the famous brace. One of the most iconic pictures in carp fishing history. Wonderful. That's the road out of the complex. Go down there and you see the gate. Makes it nice and secure. So wonderful. Absolutely wonderful. Just take you onto Pete's Peg. No motor, conveniently parked. This is the top of Pete's Drive. Runway 1. This is Giant's Footsteps. So, Peter.
Hi.
That's the island that you can see from Bonds next door. Another island behind it, and then this epic bay. Look at that, very carpy. Stunning. Bit tight for space. They'll cope though for one night. What do you think of it, Jonesy?
Beautiful. Awesome. Stunning. See you, mate.
Another view. Wonderful. Well, it's 6:10. Just put half a dozen sponfuls out over the same spot. So just to the right of the island. Not put too much out. No signs of any fish, not seen any. No real telltale signs, not giving themselves up too easily. Interesting to see what happens in the next kind of hour. Tomorrow morning will be an early start to try and spot any signs, not only in front of me but on this vast expanse of water as best as I can see. Certainly if we're going to be considering moving. Probably bring the rods in. Will it be about 9ish tonight? Change the pop-ups perhaps. Recast them after I've clipped them off against the distance sticks. But nothing to report as yet, really. It's a case of watching the water for an hour, see if they give themselves up. Right, it's 27. Just reeled in. Let's leave the rods out for an hour. Go and have a mooch. Just have a walk up to the South Lake, see what we can see about this top venue. So, you coming with me? Oh, we're just on this built-up decking area. Look at that. Look at the view. Look at that. What an awesome place this is. Absolutely awesome. There's a couple of picnic tables down here. There you go. There's one over there. See where we are then, shall we? So this is the Great Divide. So this is what they've built up then to separate the two lakes. So the dredger should be somewhere. I think the dredger could be maybe this way. Birds are nested on. Slightly better angle for the dredger. So I'm stood on the Great Divide. And in this little section, that's the North Lake. This is obviously what they created, this road, and separated the South Lake. This must have taken some doing. And there's this lovely area that we showed you before. That's the this side of that decking that I was on. just there. It's stunning. Absolutely. And there's the dredger. What an iconic snag that is. If that's not enough, over on the far bank, Mr. Heron. So it's getting on for 7:30. Just got back after a bit of a mooch round. Can't believe some of the unbelievable places that are on this venue. Seeing Dredger Bay, you know, for real. Wow. The Great Divide that they've built to separate the North and the South Lake. I mean, it must cost an absolute fortune. The redevelopment of this venue is staggering. The clubhouse, not only the building itself, but how they're going to it's almost built like a jetty out into, I think it's the South Lake, and you just get a picture in your head of how this is going to look once it's finished. And in 2 to 3 years time, when it's all settled in and it's matured a bit, this venue is going to be absolutely unbelievable. We're sort of saying to Pete, just on the way back, that we fish some nice venues, and you have a nice venue and you go fish somewhere else and it's a bit nicer. Like St John's, Linear St John's is a fantastic water, awesome to look at, but coming somewhere like this, it just takes it another 3 steps up, and I'm not sure where you can go from here. I'm just not sure. I think there's plenty of nice waters, but this is unreal. This is unreal. That clubhouse and the surroundings will be absolutely fantastic. You know, full credit RK Leisure. You know, this venue was obviously part of the CMEX portfolio of waters that they had, that they decided to get rid of. CMEX had an arm of their business called, I think, CMEX Angling, and they had a vast portfolio of waters in the UK, mainly down here. They decided that angling wasn't part of their core business. You know, being in cement and gravel, you know, they decided that, you know, resources were tight and they had to sell off the waters. So I think the combined value was over 7 million. I think they had something like 70 waters, and obviously Wraysbury 1 and Wraysbury 2 were put up for sale, as were Horton, Yateley. You know, RK Leisure have come along, and obviously the Horton complex has been open for a while, and that looks stunning. But this, once it's finished, be amazing. Full credit to them. Full credit to them for having the vision to even start a project like this. You know, from purchasing the water to it being absolutely done, you're looking at a multi-year project. It's not just about building the facilities, it's about all the swim renovations that they've done. The path around the North Lake, the Great Divide, I mean, just to separate the two waters, I mean, that must have been a ton of work. The picnic area that we saw, the decking, the clubhouse, it's just unreal. I am a bit overawed by it, really. Yeah, Right, anyway, probably come back to the history of this place a bit later on, but for now, as I say, 7:30, time to get the rods back out. Let's do that. Well, it's 5 to 8, 3 rods are back out now, all clipped up, 17 and a bit wraps, so 68 yards. Same spots, middle of the island, edge of the island, and then to the right of the island. Not put any more bait out. I'm not going to put any more bait out tonight now, I'm going to leave them. Tested all the rigs in the margin again, as I usually do. All still very buoyant, so happy with them. Kind of have a little bit of a routine when I'm recasting, make sure the rod's okay, so I check in that the eyes are still fine, check in that the connection of the spigot's good, making sure that the arm on the reel is tight, and making sure that obviously I've taken them off the clip after I've cast them. So all good. They're back out there now, and they'll probably stay out. The lake is starting to settle down, as I'll show you in a minute. So we've got, I'm not a million miles away from a flat calm in this particular part of the lake. So for me, this is now keep an eye on the lake time, see if we can see anything. I've put the bivvy up, that's behind me, no ground sheet tonight. I'm going to put the front on shortly and get that pegged out. Then that's done and dusted. All the bits and bats are back in the car, so the rod bags and stuff. I'll sort the roving rucksack out, get that in the bivvy with me. So I know we're a few hours away from losing the daylight, given that where we are in the big bird going over. I'll get one of these on film for you. They are impressive. Yeah, so pretty organised. I'm just going to have a butty for my tea. I'm really hungry. Not tonight. So that's where we are. Right, well, I've adjourned to the bivvy. It's just after 9. Not really seen anything whilst I've been watching. Birds are making a commotion. Not on the water. I think they're about to roost for the night. Guy came around earlier, angler who's on here, he's moving. He was on spring gates in the bay. He said there's no signs of fish in the bay, so he's moved to open water. Not sure where he's fishing. Planes are still coming over. I think they run till about 11. At which point they should chill out for the night. Not that they've been that big a deal. They're not as annoying as that great Disley Dam. The irony, eh? Who'd have thought that could have been more annoying than being probably 3 miles away from Heathrow. But yeah, there you go. Right. Well, it's 9:30 and the Canadas are still going for it. It's family outing for the day, perhaps. those chicks, aren't they? Well, you can't really call them chicks anymore. There's only 2 adults, definitely some young guns. You can tell with the fur. There you go on the bank. Can't really see. Wonderful. What a sight. When I went to Creek Lakes last year, it was something really special. First time fishing in France, big road trip with them, and this is kind of different from a kind of trip perspective. Obviously a lot sort of smaller scale. Obviously we're fishing in the south of England as opposed to France, but I think that with venues like these, you do have to ask yourself, you know, who needs France? I know that obviously the size of fish over there are much bigger, but there are some Wraysbury originals in here, not many, and I feel quite, well, very, very lucky to have the opportunity to fish for them. I think there's about 30 to 45 originals and 450 stockfish as part of the stocking programme that they've, that RK Leisure have undertaken since they bought the water.